Welcome back to the Tigers Den podcast, guys. Before we get started, you know what we got to do. Smash that thumbs up button, subscribe if you're brand new, and don't forget to ring that bell. Join the Noti Squad and hit those links down in your boy's description. Follow me on Twitter, IG, and Facebook at Big C Got Game. Well, our Tigers handle business again, winning in convincing fashion and moving to 9-0, 63-3 over Navy. It was just a dominant performance from beginning to end for our Tigers, putting up 7 in the first, 28 in the second, and 14 in the third and fourth. Chris King had himself a day, guys. 21 of 27 for 299, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception, completed 77% of his balls. Chris was picking apart this midshipman defense and had himself a great bounce-back game. And shout out to Cody Walker. He got in the game through 1 pass for 69 yards and a touchdown. Now on the ground, Pierre Jackson, kind of a quiet day, man. Not really showing out too much. 19 carries for 132 yards and 2 touchdowns. It's kind of crazy saying 132 yards and he really wasn't showing out because Pierre has put up some big numbers this season. Kevin Easley finished with 9 carries for 63 yards and a touchdown. He came in garbage time and played great. Now, out wide, Antonio Walker had a day, 6 grabs for 83 yards and a touchdown. Shout out to Jordan Paxson, 5 catches for 111 yards and a score. Bobby Smith was balling, 4 grabs for 83 yards and 2 scores. Pierre Jackson caught his first receiving touchdown of his career in this game. Carter and Easley both had 2 catches, and Tim Clark had 1. The defense played lights out. The G-men held the high-powered Navy run game to 3 points, and we were led by Jason West and his 10 tackles. Shout out to Caleb Causey. He had 2 sacks on the day, and Kenneth Johnson had the lone interception. Now, a lot of you guys in the comments were asking for me to show more highlights of the defense. This game was kind of tough because it was just like dive plays up the middle getting stuffed, tosses getting stuffed. I didn't think it was going to be that interesting, but in the future, I will show more of our defense. And a big shout out to the road runner. Eric Rogers did it again. 8 returns, 208 yards, and an 85-yard punt return taken back to the house. This kid is dynamic. So we dive deeper into the stats, and it just shows how dominant Grambling State really was. 23 first downs, 534 yards of total offense. We held Navy to 143 yards on the ground, 81 yards passing. They were 4 of 14 on third down. We forced a turnover, and they only held the ball for 17 minutes. But look at the total yards at the end of the day. Almost 800 yards for Grambling State, just 224 for Navy. Now it's time to take a look at the BCS standings for this week. Grambling State is still your number 1 team, followed by Utah. They moved up 1 spot to 2. Miami of Ohio moved up a spot to 3. Louisiana Lafayette fell 2 spots to 4. Oklahoma's holding solid at 5. Wisconsin 6. Texas in at 7. Mississippi State jumps up 1 spot to 8. Nebraska falls 1 spot to 9. And Florida State rounds out your top 10. Time to hit the recruiting trail, and we got some big news from Sheldon Hicks. He's moved Michigan to his number 1 team. Grambling State is trailing big time behind them in at number 2. Hopefully we keep this race going into the offseason because Sheldon Hicks would be a big get for Grambling State. We're also in a battle for corner Tony Hardy, the number 1 corner in the country. He's got Ohio State now ranked as his number 1 team, but it is a 2-team race between Ohio State and Grambling State. Guard Gavin Jackson has Grambling State still as his number 1 team over USC. We're in a battle for DN AJ Coker. The 6'6", 255-pounder from Dayton, Ohio, has Mississippi State as his number 1 team, with Grambling State not too far behind. We're starting to pull away for 4-star tackle William Brown. He has Grambling State as his number 1 team, followed by Stanford and Colorado State. New addition to the board, Lee King. He's a 6'3", 209-pound athlete from Washington, D.C. He's a 4-star athlete, and he could play a couple positions. He would come in and probably play as a possession wide receiver for Grambling State, even though he has throwing capabilities. I think we're stacked at quarterback going into next season, so it'd be good to get him in at the receiver room. We're always looking to add more depth at the defensive line position. This is 4-star defensive end Brian Clark. He's 6'5", 254 pounds from Delaware. He's got Ohio State right now as his number 1 team, but Grambling State is right behind him. And he's more of a power DN. He's got solid speed with 82 speed and 80 acceleration. He's got power moves. His finesse move needs some work, but he can get off of blocks. He's a great tackler, and he's got some hit power. he could make for an interesting 3-technique D tackle. Also new to the recruiting board is Mike Weiss. He's 6'1", 222. He's a JUCO outside linebacker from Florida. And this guy is going to be a great tackler, man. He's got decent speed with an 80 overall. Great acceleration, and look at the tackling ability. 86 tackle, great hit power with an 80. His play rank is solid. He's got great power moves, finesse moves. Only concern is his block shedding. If he decides to come to Grambling State, he may wear the red shirt his first year on campus. So no major signings this week, but make sure you guys stay up to date with everything Grambling State by following your boy on Twitter, IG, and Facebook at Big C Gat Game. Links are down in the description. So this week, our Grambling State Tigers are taking a trip out to La La Land. We're headed to Cali to take on the number 21 ranked USC Trojans. USC comes in 6-3 on the season. Kind of a disappointing season considering they were ranked as high as 2 in the preseason. They're on a 2-game losing streak, losing to Washington and Cal back-to-back games. The Trojans are led by junior QB Patrick Christensen. He's 6 foot, 200 pounds. He's thrown for 2,177 yards, 17 touchdowns, and 7 interceptions this season. Taking a look at his traits, he comes in as an 82 overall with great awareness, a strong arm, and very accurate. He has no speed whatsoever, but look for the defensive line to get that pressure and get those sacks this week. On the ground, star running back is Jason Ross. He's carried the ball 160 times for 1,060 yards and 10 touchdowns. His backfield mate is Ryan Morgan. He's a big boy, 6'2", 224, and he's in a 74 overall. He's got 289 yards and 2 scores. Look for Luke Davis to get some playing time as well, 140 yards and 1 score. Their fullback, Stan Turner, he's a stud. He's a freshman, 68 yards and 1 score. And then you have the backup QB, Marcus Bridges. He can run 29 yards and 2 touchdowns on the season. Out wide, USC is stacked. Richard Butler leads the way with 39 grabs for 604 yards and 3 scores. Then you have big tight end Drew Hunter. He's 6'6", 237. He's got 32 grabs for 449 yards and 4 scores. On the other side is Scott Mason, 5'10", 182, 32 grabs for 431 and 5 touchdowns. And then the fullback comes out and makes catches too, 14 grabs for 151 yards. Backup tight end Devin Patterson, he's another big guy, 6'6", 241, 13 grabs for 205. And then Jason Ross can catch the ball too, 13 grabs for 265. On defense, USC has some studs. First up is John Jones, the outside linebacker. He's 6'2", 216. He leads the team in tackles with 69. And then his other linebacker mate is Lewis Ball. He's second on the team with 52 tackles. This USC team can't get after the quarterback. John Jones leads the team with 4.5 sacks, followed by right defensive end Greg Bentley. He's a freshman. He's got 3.5 sacks on the season. Lewis Ball has a sack and a half. DeMarcus Gorman has a sack and a half. And Ryan Pittman up the middle has a sack. In the secondary, Ryan Murray leads the team with the interceptions with 2. He's tied with Alex Dukes, the star corner. He's a hard hitter. We'll take a look at him in a minute. Kenneth Murphy has an interception. Andy Tyler, the strong safety, has an interception. So does Zach White, the middle linebacker. Will Williams, the free safety. And Corey Wright, the corner. So it's time to dig a little deeper into this USC roster. They have a freshman starting at left tackle. He's pretty solid. He's a 77 overall. At left guard, they're pretty stacked with Bobby Franklin. Up the middle at center, Dustin Lewis is kind of solid. At right guard, they have a stud, Cam Thomas. He's 6'6", 314. And at the other tackle position is another freshman, Marcus Johnson. He's a 69 overall. So look for those defensive ends to eat. Torian Ray and Caleb Causey should have big days. On defense, Jack Taylor leads the left side at the defensive end position. Then you have Greg Bentley. He's another freshman starting at right end. Up the middle, Ronnie Smith is an 83 overall, and his backup is Ryan Pittman. At linebacker, the playmaker, Lewis Ball. He's an 84 overall. That middle linebacker, you have Zach White. He's an 87 overall, followed by Nick Hall. He's an 81 overall redshirt freshman. But John Jones is the star of this defense. He's a 95 overall, and he has some amazing traits. 84 speed, 96 acceleration. He's got a 93 tackle, 82 play rec. He can get off blocks. He's got great pursuit, and he's got great zone coverage. This kid plays all over the field, so we have to make sure we keep an eye on number 54 this week. At corner, we have Alex Dukes. He's a stud, a 94 overall with 94 speed, 94 acceleration, 81 awareness. He's got 99 man coverage, 99 zone coverage, 99 press, 99 play rec. This kid is something special. He's got great jump. He's got solid hit power. Man, we're going to have our hands full with him. Quarterback number 2 is Ryan Murray. He's 6'1", 182. He's got slow speed, but I guarantee you he makes up for it in coverage ability. Look at that zone coverage, 99 zone coverage, 91 press. He can't catch the ball, but he's got great play rec. He can jump, and he can get off blocks for a corner. Our wideouts are going to have their hands full with this secondary. At free safety, Will Williams starts. He's a junior. He's 6 foot, 195. He's got 86 speed. He's got 80 hit power and 81 tackling ability. And then there's Andy Tyler, the freshman, 6'2", 188, 92 speed, 88 agility, 77 tackle, 80 zone coverage. He's got a 68 hit power. I guarantee you he plays all over the field. They can put him down, maybe cover, the slot receiver. He's got 76 pursuit, 81 press. He's got jumping ability. He's young, but he can still play. They're strong at kicker with David Butler. He's a 94 overall. And then you have Sam Vincent, the punter. He's a 70 overall. And it looks like Herbie is rolling with Grambling State again to move to 10-0. Before we get out of here, few cleanup things we need to talk about. I see your comments down in the comment section, also on my Facebook page, and some on Instagram as well. I have tweaked the sliders just a little bit, but I have to remind you guys, this game is almost 6 years old now. I have been playing this game since day one of it dropping. Doesn't matter what the sliders are going to look like. I am very solid at this game. So, blowouts are going to happen. Close games are going to happen. This team that we have built so far is very OP. They are dominant. So it's hard to get good games against teams that, aren't that good. Navy was not a good team, so 63-3 is going to happen. Hopefully this USC game is a little bit better. They look great on paper. Let's see how they look on the field. Herbie is rolling with the Tigers this week, and hopefully you guys are too. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you smash that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you're brand new. Hit those links down in my description. Follow your boy on Twitter, IG, and Facebook at Big C Got Game. And don't forget to ring that bell and join the Noti Squad. And we'll talk from La La Land as our Tigers hit the road and go to Cali to take on USC. Have a great day, guys. 2 fingers in the air. Peace.